Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're going to be watching this video from. This is your friend Okwemi Steven in the School of Learning and Development. How are you doing today? So today we're talking about how to configure the MFA authentication registration policy, how to configure the MFA multi-factor authentication registration policy in such a way that where you block MFA registration for risky uh, users. Okay, so we all know that the conditional access policy in Microsoft Entra ID prevents um, user flagged as risky from registering or modifying their MFA authentication method. So, and this is a very powerful defense tools against MFA hijacking, where attackers aim to steal credentials. So, and they will not try to add in their own authentication method in order to take over the account. So, when you configure this particular policy, it stops the attackers from adding their own new um, authentication method. Okay, so if the account has been breached, okay, so and this also protects the authentication method endpoint. Okay, so it's protected and the endpoint. So now today we are going to do I'm going to configure that, and this is going to be configured in line with the sign in risks policy to block suspicious login. Okay, so now what are the best practice for this before we jump into the portal? First of all, you when you configure it, you make sure that you leave it on report only mode. Okay, so you leave it on that report only mode before you make it go live. Okay, and then you also exclude the break glass accounts to ensure emergency access. And then you also need you require the Microsoft Entra IDP2 or equivalent license to configure this particular setup. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how we can do that. Okay, so now this is my browser. So here I'll come up here and go to my portal and just type my admin.microsoft.com, which I have it there. So this will take me there automatically because I'm logged in already. So once you do that, then you come up here and then click on your identity. Click on your identity. So which takes you to the Microsoft Entra ID. Okay, so when it take you to the Microsoft Entra ID, so that is where you will now configure the your conditional access policy. So you come up here, you have your Entra ID. Okay, Entra ID. So you can see now from this my tenant here, you can see I have the P2 license, which allow me to configure my conditional access policy. So when you come to this your Entra ID, come up here and then you see your conditional access. Okay, click on conditional access. So when you click on this conditional access, all you just need to do, you come up here, you can see policy. If you come to this policy, these are the policy I have configured for my tenant. So now we want to configure the MFA authentication registration policy. Okay, in order to block any MFA registration for risky users. So here I'll click on my new. Once you click on that, and then I'll come up here, I can now type in the name I want to give it. Just come and type in. I can decide to so I can come up here and decide to. So your naming policy is quite very important. So depending on the organization policy, but it's quite very important so that any other person that comes and see that policy, they actually know what that policy is meant to do. So naming convention is very important. So kindly take note when you are naming things in your environment. So here I can come up here, I can say okay, CA. Let me just give you something like that. There is 001. I'll just give it there. Now we say block MFA registration for risky users. Okay, block MFA registration for risky user. So when you do that, then come to your assignment. Now under your assignment, you have your user. So click on here. So this is where you will now come and select the users you want to do. If you all click on this all users, but if you are doing that, ensure that you exclude the admin. Okay, so you exclude yourself, or when you scroll down, it's going to tell you to do that. So come up here, but now I just want to apply to selected users. Okay, so I'll come up here, I'll click on my users and groups, and here I'll search for my users I want to use. Yeah, this is the users, IT support engineers. So I'll click on select. Now once I click on that, because I'm not actually applying it to all the users, so I can decide to leave this exclude alone. But if I'm using all users, so you need to exclude the admin so that you don't lock yourself out. This is very, very important. Okay, so when you do that, then you now come to your target resources. Click on this target resources. Now when you click on the target resources, you come up here and then you now click on user action. Click on user action. Now when you click on user action, you come up here, say select the action this policy will apply. This is it, register security information. So you click on that, register security information. So when you are done, then you come up here where you have the condition. So come up here and select the condition. Now what is this condition? User risks. Okay, so click on that. Once you click on that and you click on configure, you click on yes, and then here I will select all these options. Yeah, I'll select the option. I'll now click on done. So now once you select that, you now come to where you have your grants. So do you want to grant this permission? Come up here. Do you want to grant this access? Here I will now say block access. Okay, and now click on select. Now once you do that, now, like I said earlier on, the best practice when you are trying to do this, when you configure, now I've configured what I need to do. Now you have reports only, and you have on, and you have off. So for sake so that you don't get locked out, or you don't locked out all the user. But before you configure this kind of policy, ensure that you have ensure that comms has been sent to the user so that they will know, so that they can be aware about it, that there will be a certain changes. That is, if the changes is not part of your design in your organization before, so you need to make them aware of it so that they don't just get start panicking. Okay, it's quite very, very important. So here I'm going to leave you on this report only, and then I will come back and turn it on later. And I click on create. So once I click on create, now that is going to create that policy for me. Okay, so now the policy has been created for me. I think I gave it 00001. Yeah, okay, should be there. If you can't see, you just click on refresh. So click on your refresh so you can see. So this is the policy. You can see it's on reports only mode. Now I've configured this particular policy. Now I now need to pair this particular policy I've created with the with the sign in risk policy. Okay, so I need to configure, I need to pair it with the sign in risk policy. So I have to go back again to my policy. Here I'll come up here, I can access CA, can give my policy name CA 0002. Come up here, and then I can decide to say block sign in. I can say block sign in with sign in risks. Okay, so let's give it a name. Say block sign in with sign in risks. Okay, so here you come to your users here, come up here, and then click on select users. Like I said earlier on, if you click on all this, so make sure you exclude the admin. So I'll click on select users. Here I'll select the group of users I want to use, my IT. Yeah, click on that, and now click on select. Now once I'm done, you come to this target resources. So now this target resources, when I come up here now, this time around, this will now be my target resources, which is what this particular one are not longer what this user actions. Now click on this. Once you click on that and you come up here and I say all resources, so which means that if they are logging into any resources, you don't understand, so from any location that is suspicious is going to be blocked automatically. So come up here, condition here. Under this condition, when you click on this condition, now this time around, now go click on sign in risks. Okay, sign in risks. I'll click on this and I'll come up here, click on yes. So this one I'll just select two options, high and medium is fine for me. You can select everything if you want now, but make sure you don't select this no risks. Okay, so click on done. Now once you do that, then you come to your grant. Under this grant here, I will now click on block. Now click on select. Now once you do that, then make sure, like I said earlier, leave it on this read reports only at the moment. Then you can go back and then turn it on. Okay, I'll now click on this create. So now once you create that, now why are we doing this? Because of what? If you have like what we call unfamiliar location, impossible word travel, anonymous word IP or VPN use. Okay, so when there is this kind of issue, it automatically it's just, for example, it's just saying that a user is signed in Canada, and at the same time that user is signing like within the space of 5 to 10 minutes, the user is signing in UK. So you can see that that is impossible what travel. Okay, so those are two different locations. So this policy is going to block it based on your MFA, okay, your MFA location. So here I'll now come up here. Now this policy has been configured for me. So now I need to turn it on. I can now go back. Once you are sure everything is set properly, you can go back and then click on turn on and then click on save. I'll click on that. I'll now go back to my policy again. Click on the other one, blocking sign with risks. Come up here, turn it on, click on save. Now once you turn that on, once you turn it on, now what do I need to do next? Now I've configured this policy, and it's going to affect the users I've selected. Remember, this is just a test, so that's why I just select some group of users. Okay, so now we want to test and see how this is going to work. Now to test it, now I have my VPN, sorry, I have my VM. I have my VM, which is my Azure VM. I'll click on this. Now, if you look at it, now this is my Azure portal. I have a VM. This is my VM, and this VM is located in what? In East US. The VM is running already. It's located what? In East US. Now I'm going to log in to Office 365 from this particular VM. So the VM is already running. So this is my VM here. So what I need to do, I'll come to this place here now and open my browser. So once I open my browser, so now I'm going to sign into my Office 365 environment. Okay, let me sign in from this other environment. If I go there, let me open this browser. If I come up here now, come up here, click on new incognito mode. Remember that my location currently now is United Kingdom. So here I'm going to sign in to office.com. Come up here, I'll sign into that particular account. Put in my credentials. Yeah, so type in the email, click on next, and then put in the password. Once I put in the password, come up here and I'll click on sign in. Then I should get my MFA where you have the matching number. So here I'm just going to accept that and then put in the matching number in my authenticator. So you can see that now. So you can see now this signs me in because my location currently is because it's picking up my current location on my MFA, the authenticator app. So now I'll go to the VM now. So this is my VM now. So now I'm going to be signing in from the VM. Remember that I told you, I said this VM is running and it's in East US. Okay, so this VM serve as my for example, let's say I'm using a VPN to log in. Okay, but this is a VM that I spin up in Azure environment. So I'm going to sign into that. So that is my VM environment. Now you can see the address. So here I'll click on sign in. I'll put on that same credentials to sign in. So let's see if I will be allowed to sign in. Uh, okay, so here put in the email address next, and then here I'll come up here and then type in the password. Okay, so type in the password, uh, and then click on next. So once you click on next here, so click on no. Here it's going to tell me that you see you cannot access this right now. Your sign in was successful, although the sign in was successful. Okay, so which means that it was authenticated, you understand, but does not meet the criteria to access these resources. For example, you might be signing in from a browser app or location that is restricted by your admin. So you can see how these are particular policy we just created now stops. So this is what known as because of unfamiliar what location and what impossible travel. Now I'm signing into uh I'm signing to a different location in United Kingdom, and at the same time within this place of a minute or so, I'm also trying to sign in to another location which is in the US. So you can see because of that policy we've created now is not allowing me to sign in there. But when you come up here, you can see this particular one we did. We're able to sign in here because I'm actually in a what different my authenticator is being signing from what from my location, which is United Kingdom. Okay, so this is how you can configure is how you actually configure your MFA registration for risky users. Okay, so I hope you have gained a lot of things. I hope you have gained something from this particular video. You can see where I actually spin it up after creating this policy. I try to log in from a different environment, from a different location using my VM. Okay, you can see here it's not allowing me to log in, whereas on the other side I can log in. So this is how you can actually secure your user to defend against MFA hijacking. Okay, so I hope you have learned something from this video. I remain your friend Okwemi Steven in the School of Learning and Development. Thank you for taking off your time to watch this video. I do hope you have subscribed to my YouTube channel. If you are yet to do that, we love new subscribers. Kindly make sure to click on that subscribe button and turn off the notification button so you can get notification when I post new content on my YouTube channel. Make sure you share, make sure you like, make sure you comment. Okay, so I would love to hear from you any comment, and I also love collaboration. If you want to collaborate with me, that's fine. I'm open to collaboration. Thank you very much, and I will see you some other time. Bye bye for now.